Live from the Lucas Oil Studios, it's Horsepower Hump Day. Because every NASCAR fan needs a push of the old bumper to get them over that hump.
Stop. Oh, my God.
Here's Kenny, Crash, Richie, and Cole. Let's get humping, boys.
Well, Freak Nation, we know who is going to be in the final for your Clash. Because as we are starting this freaking show, let me turn the volume down.
I was just going to say.
As we are starting this show, we're watching those last 5 or 6 laps between Austin Cindric and not Brad Keselowski, but Corey LaJoie in the number 6. And spoiler alert, Freak Nation, Austin Cindric and Josh Berry made the final Clash as they finished in the top 2 in the last chance qualifier. And looking at this aerial of the race, Freak Nation, don't know if you're seeing the same damn, it looks like this is being held at the base of a ski mountain because all of the snow, right? Am I right?
It does. Yeah. Look how Regan Smith's bundled up right now. What a great visual, though.
Fingerless gloves on. I mean, Regan in a massive beanie, zipped, and his jacket zipped all the way up. Yeah, it's cold. These are the days that you like to be in a fire suit. Mm-hmm. You're like, yep, nothing beats this right now.
All right, so here's the latest. These are the drivers who did not make the final. Did not make the Clash. LaJoie, Allmendinger, Nemechek, Smith, Gragson, Ty Dillon, Stenhouse, Jones, McDowell, because McDowell was penalized early on in the LCQ, right?
He was on the front row to start, and he drove away with the lead, and then the caution came out because Riley Herbst spun because that guy can't drive worth a darn. And caution came out, and penalized to the back rear of the field, and goodbye, see you later. His day was done.
What happened to Bowman? Did he get wrecked early?
He dropped back intentionally. Because he's going to be in as well because gets the points provisional.
There's a little test session.
Oh.
Got it. All right, so McDowell, Custer, Fincham, Myers, Ware, Herbst, and Gilliland.
Yep.
Right?
Todd, yep.
But Alex Bowman does get to push into the Clash, right?
Correct.
All right, so there you go, Freak Nation. We got ourselves some freaking racing. And, at least for now, the bet, if you saw Speed Freaks on Sunday night, you saw there was only one individual that raised his hand that they were going to get this race underway, and it's the guy sitting in the middle of your screen right now. It's me. But it's still listen, there's still a chance of an S show happening just prior or in the start of the race, right? Has anybody looked at the radar lately?
I haven't actually.
I saw Pockgrass tweet out a radar during the middle of the LCQ, and it seems that things were clear for the next hour or so. However, Cody Big Johnson informed me earlier that there maybe was going to be some precipitation. Look at that big word. Right. Precipitation later as the night goes on, which means it would be really cold, so you might get some snow showers. But you know what? Don't matter. They have wet weather tires. Put those wet weather tires on there.
Do they have snow tires?
I don't need them.
Oh,
they got the
chains.
They
got the chains on the tires.
If they had freaking General Tires on there, they would have no freaking problem. Go to
you're right.
generaltire.com. Freak Nation. And some of the things that we were commenting on
showing that, yes, there's a high chance of precip. Oh, you can't see this from that far away. But, yes,
the last
precip is coming.
20-25 laps between Cindric and not Brad Keselowski, but
Corey LaJoie.
We were all saying the same damn thing. If this is what we're going to get on short tracks, yes, more of this. Mm-hmm. More of the short track racing, Freak Nation. And I think you'll agree with that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Right. This is the debut of the increased horsepower for the short tracks and the road courses. And you didn't really get a good feel of it for the practice sessions because they ran max 35 laps. So getting 75 under your belt for this last chance qualifier, you really got to see how these tires wore down and just how much fun the racing was. It felt like an actual short track race again,
That
which was awesome.
Fun to watch, the LCQ. That was fun to watch.
Freak Nation, we're going to hear from Denny Hamlin, Connor Zilich. I believe we have Kyle Larson joining us in the show. And I'm going to let Richie tee that up here momentarily. But again, to recap, the LCQ is done. The 22 drivers, is that right? 22 drivers are set for the final. What
23,
time?
23.
Oh, Bowman.
Right. Yes, with Bowman.
Right? Yeah.
That's correct. Now, the alleged time for that race to start is what time Eastern?
6 Eastern.
So when we get off the dam, okay, that's cool. We'll be done with the show, and we can go watch it. And if we see what we saw the last 20, 25 laps, man, between those two leaders trying to chase down each other, Barry was gone 6, 7 seconds ahead of him. But if we see some of that for this final, that'll be fun to watch, Crasher.
Oh, without question. Like Cole said, this added horsepower, nobody's really been talking about it, but we're now seeing it without the conversation being had. We're making up our own conversation about it and already giving it a massive thumbs up.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, Richie, there are a number of stories that came out prior to the last chance qualifier, or actually throughout the afternoon, and one of them was Denny Hamlin in particular, that if this guy needed any more, any more sympathy going into the 2026 season, man, does he tee it up with his latest announcement.
Yeah, he was up on the dais at the media center there at Bowman Gray Coliseum, and I was shocked. A lot of us were shocked when we saw Jeff Gluck's tweet from this morning. If you want to pull that up, Cody, so that people can see it. Relating to Denny Hamlin, can you guys read that? I'm at an angle, so I can't read that.
Absolutely. It says news. Denny Hamlin says he retore his shoulder that was injured in 2024, and he's elected to try and race through the season rather than take 3 to 4 months away with surgery. Says it didn't feel right, and then he took a fall at his parents' house going through the rubble post-fire. Oof. Can you just pour salt in the wound? I mean, that's essentially what that is.
And this is, like I said, re-aggravation of an injury that he had surgery on in 2024.
Ooh, it's not that long ago.
Yeah, and
Wow.
back then, he was having a lot of issues. In fact, Bob Pockras ended up kind of following up that question from Jeff Gluck. And so here is Denny Hamlin talking about how that shoulder is going to affect him this season.
First off, I just want to check, when you talk about your shoulder before, in the past, you had trouble like kind of lifting it full. So do you have that trouble right now, or is it about where it was?
I don't right now. I don't right now. If you could look into a crystal ball, I would think, as the year goes on, it just kind of depends on certainly making sure I'm doing the things out of the car, keeping the range good, keeping the strength good to kind of get to that November date where I can work on and get it fixed again. Limiting, honestly, the things I love to do, I'm going to have to just, that's not going to be a priority during the season, unfortunately. So I'm just going to miss out on a lot of the fun things, but I can't do some of the things I like to do simply because that aggravates it, and it certainly causes the tear to get worse, and it's kind of hanging on. It's torn, but it's still got a little few parts and pieces hanging on that's I need to keep intact for the full year.
Jeez.
Man, if there's one guy, if he's still involved in the championship, if there's one guy that's glad that the Roval is gone, it's that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
The fewer the road courses, the better.
Maybe he was an advocate for taking away the Roval.
Yeah, right. Listen, I got the shoulder issue. I'd really like it if you guys ixnay that.
Listen, I never pretend to be a freaking race car driver, but I will say this. When I tore my clavicle, when I busted my collarbone, and his is in the joint. His is up here, from what I understand from his description, right?
Muscle joint, yeah.
Just moving your arm like this, trying to get out of the freaking driveway, I can't imagine doing this and then having to do this and do this. Just do that. Do that right now. Just do it. You'll feel the muscles in your shoulder. It's like, yeah. And there's AJ Allmendinger on the screen. Speaking of drugs, imagine the drugs that Denny Hamlin, the painkiller that he has to be on and get approved. You can't do that without painkiller. Painkiller. I don't give a damn how your adrenaline is, Crasher.
Oh, I know. The adrenaline
You
wears
have to
off
have some
after-
type of
yep.
painkiller
Yep.
when you have a torn up shoulder. And he's talking about barely hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, he went into gruesome detail on that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That was crazy.
There's a few pieces there. They're just kind of like phalanges. Gross.
Hey, I am. Get a single shot. You're looking at one dude that believes in the assistance of medication. I don't care what it is. Allergies, depression, sore ankles, sore knees, sleepless,
Runny nose.
Hey, bam, I pay for it. Yeah, man, if it's out there, I'll get it. And that's just for someone that's in decent shape too. I can't imagine someone that's like a Denny Hamlin that's in race car. I don't know if he's in race driving shape right now, but in the middle of the season, when you're in shape, thanks to spending time in that race car, man, the dependence on come on. Starting me to go for my drug tangent, but the hell it means.
I was thinking about this earlier today when I first saw the tweet too. I was like, does he make a different decision if we're still in the playoff format in previous years? Because in previous years, thinking of Connor Zilich, et cetera, any driver who was injured and who missed race, Chase Elliott, several years ago, the same thing. If you go out and you win a race, well, you can get a waiver from NASCAR, so you can still participate and be eligible for the postseason. Well, now that we're back into the chase format, the waivers are gone. There is, as far as I know, there are no more waivers. So if you miss races, you're shit out of luck. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if Denny's decision there to not get surgery, it was completely dependent on the chase format, and if you would make a different decision based on if we were still in that playoff elimination format with the waiver. Because 3 to 4 months, what are we talking about? That's a third of the season if he were to get surgery.
Can I add on top of that? You just brought NASCAR to its knees, and you're going to be out of a race car. Right. I would say, short of not having a right foot attached to his body, he's going to be in that G-Dam race car come Daytona, regardless of his.
And you have 2 more seasons on your contract.
Yeah.
It's now or never. If you really want that championship, it's now or never. There's no waiting anymore.
So, again, as if Denny Hamlin needed something else for us to cheer for the dude as he beats your favorite driver throughout the 2026 season. There you go. Issues with his shoulder going into Daytona, Freak Nation. Richie, what else we got there, Elvis?
Real quick, I just want to make an observation.
Yep.
Cole and I, we have the Fox broadcast up right in front of us here, and I thought I was laughing out loud while we were talking about Denny Hamlin there because everybody in the stands, there was one old lady who was bundled up in.
Why do you have to say old lady? Why do you have to say that? That's ageist. Just say one.
She was
say there's
likely 70s.
An elderly woman.
Just say there's a lady, man.
She had gray hair. It was an older
Why do you have
lady.
to describe her? You going to give me her weight count, her BMI?
Couldn't tell because of the blanket covering her.
That's true. We're actually not on. If only we had pictures, we could actually show the people, but so that way they could see what I'm talking about. But I had to, for the people that couldn't see, I have to talk about it. Anyway, she was bundled up in what looked to be the coziest blanket I've ever seen in my life. Cole, like, it was. I was like, I did not envy her position there one bit. She looked like she was not having a great time, despite the cozy blanket. Because there's right now, if you look at the stands, they're completely empty. Which you can
not very many.
Can understand because I'm sure there are a lot of people that are still snowed in. So
well, then they cut straight to this guy with his daughter in his lap. And I'm like, oh, dude. I mean, she's got her hood on. She's got a hat underneath that hood. And he's got his arms around her like he's trying to keep her warm. And I'm like, really? Really? You chose this instead of your warm living room where you could make your own beverages, even hot beverages. Yeah, I don't know.
38 degrees right now, Crasher, and it says it feels like 31. And there's there's a difference. There is a difference with a damp 38 versus a dry 38, man. It gets into your bones to where when you stand up to go take a pee or go down and grab you a Coca-Cola down at the concession stand, man, you got to think about it before you start walking.
Do I really want to mess
that's
up?
so true. I mean, I actually disagree. I think it'd be an amazing time to be there. I mean, I'm sure if I was in the weather and the elements, it'd be a different story. But I just think being there for these stock cars on track at Bowman Gray in that cold weather with the snow surrounding the track would be a cool thing to witness. And also,
there's a little bit of history.
I'm a big coffee guy, so I'd love to have a nice coffee while I watch my race. Obviously, it'd be cool.
Actually, I was having.
There you go.
I had about a 20-minute argument with somebody earlier this week because I was complaining after the AFC Championship game and how piss poor that game was, and it was in the outdoors and the elements and the snow. And my argument is that all stadiums should be domes. And this is the perfect example. We should just start putting roofs on racetracks so that way we never have any rain delays at all.
I've
Dome everything.
That. Yeah.
Screw the elements is what I say.
Even
So you're not a fan of AI, but you're a fan of rigging the races to where they don't run through the elements.
There's no correlation between artificial intelligence and dome stadiums, Kenny. What are you talking
You're
about?
rigging the race, and to you, ChatGPT is rigging society.
No. I'm not even going to answer that because it doesn't make any sense.
Stopped you in your damn tracks, though, didn't it?
It did.
You went through the Suave ChatGPT and thought, "Is there an argument here?"
SGPT. Yeah. Suave
Yep.
GPT.
Connor Zilich on the track for the first time as a NASCAR Cup Series pilot, and I brought this up, and again, it was swatted down awfully quickly that him and the other Trackhouse driver is
Shane Van Gisbergen.
we're both in Trackhouse liveries, and evidently they did that last year. With
They
the
did it
Crash.
last year, too. And side note, both of those schemes both look awesome.
They look
I thought.
badass.
Yeah,
It looks
incredible.
very modern, unlike the guy over here to my left, to your round TV, that wants to go back to the roots, where you want to have like what the whole 5 lug nut tire and just go back to dudes jumping over the wall in their freaking polyester suits and changing tires. I like the new livery that looks like it came from 2025, even 2026. Cole Cusimano.
I'm a big paint scheme guy. I'm the biggest paint scheme guy here. I agree with you, actually. And also, side note, the guy that makes the designs for Trackhouse, Kyle Sykes, one of the best graphic designers in the business. So those Trackhouse cars are always one of the best looking ones on track. So I totally agree.
We do have somebody in our chat here, Ace Steeler, who says his pick to win the Clash is Shane Van Gisbergen because of the weather, and he thinks that
Good point.
maybe get a little bit more of a road course feel to it in the
Where
weather.
is he starting?
He was 17th or 18th in qualifying earlier, which actually I was a bit surprised by because I was like, oh, did Shane make the top 20? Because we know, he's still trying to figure out these short tracks, and yeah, he made it. So why not?
He had
Why
speed in the practice session.
200 laps. He's got plenty of time to do it.
He does.
Why are my guys in ties? Oh,
I know. Josh Sims, Jamie McMurray in
why?
arguably suits and ties. I
Why?
mean, they're wool coats and ties. It's not necessary,
What would you
especially
rather-
at a short track, especially on a Wednesday.
What would you rather have them in?
Put him in some Foxfire
T-shirt?
suits. How about that?
In shorts?
No, but not ties.
What-
Richie,
More-
don't even act like you're for that. Who the
Put
hell
on a
keeps
clown
calling me,
outfit?
dude?
Like a polo, a fox
You're in
polo.
Winston-Salem, man. You're not the top of the
Empire State Building.
Empire State Building covering the inaugural address. You're covering a race in Winston-Salem, and you look like you're about to go in and with a statement against legalese. God damn it. That's the point. We've been railing against that. They're okay. Now, if you're watching this on TV, you had, what's his name?
Finish your thought. We've been railing against. You're getting
We've been
distracted
railing
by
against
the TV.
It's motorsports. You're not covering a funeral. You're not covering weddings. Stop wearing G-damn ties into the pits. We called dudes like that Pink Shirt. Pink Shirt Network was ESPN. It was several other networks that when you would put reporters and announcers in the pits with suits, they were just, why are you doing this? It's freaking motorsports. They listened to us because 5 or 6 years into our tenure, they finally started putting the pit reporters in there with in fire suits and some decorative paraphernalia. They call them coats nowadays.
Basically,
Pisses me
shirts without the need for ties, and you don't have to tuck in your shirt. It's one of those nicer shirts. Now there's whole companies that
We even remember that we called that even one time the tucked in shirt network. Like, don't tuck your shirt in either.
be loose, be like your fan base. No, not totally like the fan base, but be casual, be smart casual. That's I guess what you're going for.
Wear what the nicest fan in the stands is wearing.
There you go.
You don't have to go freaking wooden Crocs and all. I'm talking about find something nice and wear that as the pit reporter. Just made that up as we went on.
All right.
Richie, save me. We need some more video.
Yeah. we can talk a little bit more about Connor Zilich, is what we were talking about. So Connor Zilich, he was part of the media conglomerate on Wednesday morning, and I thought this was interesting that he was asked about because his team at the Rolex 24, I believe, finished second, if I'm not mistaken, in the GTP class, the prototype class, to kick off the season. Connor was mostly in the car overnight when there was a caution, so he's running the race pretty much entirely under caution.
He was in on that.
Yeah.
Overnight, yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know if he was asked specifically about that during his press conference, but he was asked about the perspective of like, hey, listen, is more seat time a good thing? And he went on to say that like you could not have more differentiation between a Daytona prototype GTP car and a NASCAR Cup Series race car.
Yeah, I don't know if it really gets any more opposite than the Rolex 24 and a hybrid hypercar versus coming to Bowman Gray in a Cup car, but it's good to get all the muscles warmed up and get back in a competitive spirit. That was my first time racing at the highest level of IMSA, and I'm going into my first year in the Cup Series, which is the highest level of NASCAR. So it was good to get that challenge, and I struggled at first in that, just like I expect to have to learn here as well. So I'm just excited to go through it, right? I've got a great team around me with Trackhouse and everybody. So, did the Rolex prepare me for today? I wouldn't say, those two correlated all that much, but the experience of racing at the highest level and having, a lot of great people around me and surrounding me at that race is definitely helpful. And the more experience like that I can get, the better. So, I'm excited for this season. I got a lot to look forward to with a great team around me in Trackhouse and great teammates with Shane and Ross. And, just excited to hopefully make the most of it.
Now, hold on a second, though, because that question, it's not like that question isn't asked all the time, especially in the off season. There is a correlation, a very small, I wouldn't even say it's very small. There is a correlation because it's seat time. Seat time is irreplaceable because you can't do seat time in a weight room. You can't do seat time when you're running on a track. Seat time is key because it gets your shoulders, it gets your arms, it gets your legs in that awkward position of sitting for hours. I mean, it's key because it's driving. Yes, are the cars different? Without question. But there's just something about getting seat time. It's why IndyCar drivers, Formula One drivers, they do kart racing. Just random karts. Mm-hmm. Is there any correlation between a kart and a Formula car? No. But it's seat time because it keeps your racing muscles warm.
Cole, is it important that Connor Zilich show up for this, or is it all about Daytona for him?
No, of course it's important. I mean, like Crash was just saying, it's about going through the motions of being back in a race car, and in his case, his first time racing a Cup car full-time. Obviously, he had the experience last season part-time, but now you have a different rules package with the short tracks and the increased horsepower. And again, it's like your shifting, your brake points, all these different things that you do when you're racing these cars. You want to get back into that rhythm. That's why Alex Bowman was just logging laps in that last chance qualifier, because you want as much seat time as possible just to get your bearings under you.
So it is important that he show up for the Clash versus. I mean, he's in it. Mm-hmm. We know that, and it's. We don't need to spend a whole lot of time on that. Yeah, it's again with the odds that you shared with me for him to win the championship.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, what was that?
I believe. Okay, so I have to go on my phone, but it was. I believe Logano was plus 1,800 to win the championship. Connor Zilich was plus 2,000 to win the championship. So they were right there, neck and neck. I believe it was.
No, I thought his odds were better than Logano. Yeah, Logano was.
So it was flipped. It was Zilich plus 1,800, Logano plus 2,000, right. And it was 10th favored to win and 11th favored to win.
Yeah, it's changed. Yeah. It's changed since the last time you saw it because people are catching on to it. Connor Zilich does have better odds than Ross Chastain, Chris Buescher, Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, Josh Berry, Carson Hocevar, and the like. But yeah, Connor Zilich plus 2,000, Joey Logano plus 1,800 right now.
Oh,
there you go. Oh, so it did flip.
So
okay.
You know what? This again, Richie. This is kind of like the bait that when Kyle Larson ran the first Indy 500, where they were really trying to reel you in with the odds of him to win the 500.
Exactly.
Yep.
Right?
Same exact thing. It's
put your money right
name recognition. Connor Zilich should have. Speaking of kind of this idea about what to expect from Connor Zilich this year. First of all, he's starting 19th in the main event, which is coming up here in 35 minutes or so. And Connor Zilich was asked about what are his expectations for in this 2026 season as he embarks on his first full-time Cup Series season.
No, I haven't really set any goals for myself. I don't know what to expect really coming into this year. So it's hard to set expectations when, there's so many news for me and my team. So I'm excited. My biggest goal is to be a better driver at the end of the year than I am today. And if I can accomplish that, then I'd be satisfied.
All right.
That's a bunch of crap.
Be a better driver at the end of the season than he is today? That's
I haven't set any goals for this. Yes, you have. That's just part of being a
win a race.
Human on this planet.
He wants to win a race.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's I would imagine that's a goal.
The odds makers have him not one of the absolute favorites to win the championship.
Top 10.
Top 10, yeah.
But he's certainly, his odds are much more in favor of seasoned veterans that have been running in this series for years. So there are expectations, whether he's bullshitting us or not. They've had that conversation. Yes, they have.
And I'm sure part of that conversation was tempering the expectations. He's an elite talent, obviously.
That's very true.
He's probably the best rookie that we're seeing since Jeff Gordon, but you still got to take into account he's still a rookie. There's, like you said, veterans in the series right now, multiple champions, so it's important to temper those expectations, even though he's going to be in great equipment and likely be a top 10 contender this year when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I want to go to our chat for a couple things here. Blake brought this up because actually Connor Zilich was asked on the Rolex 24 broadcast. He was asked directly by Lee Diffie about any future in Formula One or Cadillac.
That's right.
And Connor more or less was like, I'm focused on my NASCAR career right now, but never say never is what he said. So, and then Blake kind of followed in that line, which is Mike Joy thinks Connor is the biggest deal since Jeff Gordon, which is what Cole was just referring to. And Blake also followed up and said Blake says he's 58 and I'm not as level-headed as that kid, which is insane because Connor is 19? 19? I think he's 19 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very mature 19.
Yeah.
Very.
And that's one thing I'm always enamored by whenever we converse with him for these interviews. It's like he has a great head on his shoulders. He's so mature beyond his years, and that's the true making of a champion right there. So he's going to be elite. He's going to be one of the best probably in the history of NASCAR, in my opinion.
Can I throw something out to kind of freak you out, Kenny?
Mm-hmm.
Connor Zilich and our daughter's age difference is less than you and me. She could marry Zilich, and it'd still be less.
Set it up. Set it up.
That's so crazy because she's 12. When you said 19, I'm like, oh, my God, that's not that many years. I mean, at this part of their life it is. But, wow, weird.
What just happened?
Speechless.
It got weird
He's
in here.
Speechless.
It
That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
Set it up.
See you next week.
After
Yeah, I had something to say until that just happened.
But it's just, I can't believe he's 19. I can because we've known him since he was 15 or 16, but it's just, wow. He is a very mature 19.
Now, Cole Cusimano, the owner of Trackhouse, not you.
Justin Marks. I was going to say, I don't own Trackhouse. I'd like to.
Sorry, I forgot is. I forgot is. Justin Marks, the owner of Trackhouse, there couldn't be a better owner for Connor Zilich than him. Joe Gibbs, nah, too old. Penske, no. Not even Kozlowski and gang, but Trackhouse, that's the best ownership for Connor Zilich. It's not suppressive. You don't have all of these certain benchmarks you need to make, whether it's behind the cameras, off the track. Just not being a part of that whole billion-dollar corporate scene is money for Connor Zilich. Mm-hmm. And I don't need to get into other details. I think you understand, Freak Nation, of the importance of who you're driving for. And Connor at 19 years old and the open-mindedness of that team is spot on. And I can promise you this, that Red Bull would not sponsor an athlete that was going to be associated with some type, and you can take it any way you want to, with some type of suppressive ownership. Suppressive can be a very negative word. It might be, but in my comments here, it isn't necessarily. It's just when you have these margins that you're set in between as a Penske driver, as a Gibbs driver, as a Hendrick driver. And I think Kyle Larson, he kind of busts that mold. But for Connor Zilich, I don't think you could have a better race car owner.
Mm-hmm. That's a great. I've never thought about that before, but that's so true. Because when you think of Roger Penske, you think of Penske Perfect, and you think of that like suit and tie type culture that Roger Penske has always been known for. And Connor Zilich is not that. You know, Connor Zilich, as great as he is, he represents the new era, and I think that's what Justin Marks, I think, has been so good at. Like, you know, bringing in Ross Chastain, Shane Van Gisbergen, too, these guys, those types of drivers. Daniel Suarez, and giving him a Cup Series opportunity from Mexico, winning multiple races for Trackhouse. So I think that's actually a really, really great point. And, like, there's a reason Red Bull left NASCAR 15 years ago. Yeah, and they were winning races with Casey Kane and other drivers who I'm not going to mention.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, leave him out.
Good call.
Scott Speed, right? Scott Speed.
Yeah.
Cole Witt.
But look last year and years prior to that with the 3 drivers they had. They couldn't be more diverse. An Australian, a Mexican,
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Don't.
New Zealand.
Yeah, our chat's going to get
Sorry.
mad about that because
Sorry.
I think we have people who watch us from New
a
Zealand.
Kiwi.
He won Aussie Supercars, but he's
Thank you.
from New Zealand. Yes.
Okay, guys, I know that. I just made a mistake. You don't have to give me all the reasons why I just
But
effed
they're
up.
different countries, Kenny. Come
Well,
on.
you know, he won the Australian Supercars.
See,
but you know
this is why the people in the chat are asking they would pay money for Suave GPT. right there, Suave GPT, $1.99 a month. Indy 500 LA, I would pay money to get Suave GPT. He knows shit. Thank you very much.
There is not another team that has such diversity than Trackhouse had last year. A Mexican, a Kiwi, and an American. And personality-wise, 3 different personalities. And, frankly, three similar driving styles, but 1 or 2 that could grasp the oval much better than Shane Van Gisbergen. Right?
Absolutely.
What else we got, Richard?
Do we have anything else in the can on the thing to play for the people, or are we good?
I actually have something that I want to bring up before we go back to the can. Well, that can, the audio can, not the toilet can. That's fighting words, Cole. When you said that Connor Zilich could be the best rookie we've seen since Jeff Gordon. What was sliced bread? What was shrub? There were some other damn good rookies, but I get this.
Yeah.
Mike Joy's saying the same thing. So, I mean, was Jeff Gordon's rookie year amazing? Without question.
Right.
I mean, freaking took the the Brickyard 400, but in his home state. But, gosh, are we really saying that was the greatest rookie? I mean, and I'm asking this because I don't really know. But I remember Kyle Busch coming on scene was a massive rookie debut. And Dude, we could have a decent argument about that.
It's a good question. I only said Jeff Gordon because I think I entered the sport pretty late. It was like 2008. Joey Logano was the highest touted prospect of all time.
Yeah.
And he ultimately flopped with Joe Gibbs Racing. So the expectations were there, not so much the results. I think the same could happen very well for Zilich, obviously.
Yeah.
But with what we've seen in the developmental series and his other forms of motorsport, he should have a very competitive rookie season like Jeff Gordon. So that was the only reason I said Jeff Gordon. But, you're right. I think more recently, Joey Logano was probably a higher touted prospect than he was. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember, again, going back to the Rolex 24 and watching that coverage, they spent a decent amount of time talking about Connor. Like, he was one of the stories of that race from when I was watching, so far as there was even a graphic that they put out, and it was an entire page of just all of Connor Zilich's racing accomplishments, and it was so impressive to look at, like we've talked about, in all these different forms of motorsports that he's ran, over the last, 5-6 years. It's. I think that's what makes him so different from some of these other guys. Is some of these other guys weren't winning their class in Daytona 24 Hours at 18 years old, 17 years old, the first year he ran it, right? Not finishing second in the Daytona 24 Hour in the GTP class as a 19-year-old this year, right? Going and winning in Trans Am like he was several years ago as a 17-year-old, 16-year-old. That's what makes him so different compared to some of these other guys. And some of these other guys too, Joey Logano, Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch, right? They all had their successes in some of the lower series, but nothing to the likes of what Connor did last year.
The diversity that Connor has driven.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
Just do what Connor did last year and dominate like he did in a first full-time NASCAR ride and winning 10 races and just coming short of the championship, unfortunately, is that's going to be really hard to replicate. You know, he set records for a reason.
The similarity between him and Tony Stewart when you have a driver's driver, and that's what Connor Zilich is, the admiration or respect that Connor Zilich has from every driver in the garage. If he doesn't have the respect, it's because they're jealous. But what this kid has accomplished in such a short time in race car, he's a driver's driver. And back on what Richie's saying, it's tough to not make your argument and keep out everything that he's done outside of NASCAR.
Exactly.
If you include everything that he's done outside of NASCAR, there's no argument. But at the same time, if you just include what he did in NASCAR, and that's just, and again, a competitive Xfinity X O'Reilly series, and do what he's done on road courses. Damn, I wasn't following Jeff Gordon at the time. I wasn't a NASCAR fan in the mid '90s crasher, late '90s, so I wasn't there for that. But I'm there for Kyle Larson. I'm there for Kyle Busch. I was there for Joey Logano. I'm there for Connor Zilich. So I could be a part of that. When I go back to Joey Logano and I think about those days of him just aggravating everybody and their mother in the garage with his driving style, to me, he was a NASCAR driver. He just wasn't an overall badass driver like those other names that I mentioned, Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Kyle Larson.
What was Jeff Gordon's rookie year? Was it 92 or 94?
92 was when his
Okay.
first race was, because it was very famously Jeff Gordon's first race and Richard Petty's last at Atlanta that year in 92.
So was he a rookie when he won the Brickyard
No.
400 in 94? Okay, so that was not his rookie season, but
Yeah.
he was still young, and he was the Indiana boy. He was still made in Hollywood. Yeah, okay.
I think also the best way to simplify this, on the last note I'll make here, is that he's a global, like a worldwide phenomenon. Like he's highly regarded across the world.
Yep, Connor.
Where you had, Connor Zilich, where you Jeff Gordon, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch. Do you think these guys were really thought that highly of overseas and whatnot?
At the time, no.
You know,
I
so
think now, yes, but you're exactly
Connor
right.
Zilich is Mr.
Kyle
Worldwide.
Larson's in the same plateau.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Because was it 2 years ago? 3 years? Was it 2 years ago where they were going back and forth between Verstappen and Larson?
Yes,
Right.
I think that
Yes.
was 2 years ago. Mm-hmm.
that was the conversion.
But
We
as a
entertained that.
rookie, at such
Right, as a rookie, yeah.
at such a young age, no, you're right. There's nobody out there that has that respect. No, I'm not going to go there either. I was going to bring up Travis Pastrana, but you can't zero in on what outside of
He's
NASCAR.
two-wheel and rally.
Yeah, outside of NASCAR, he's succeeded in everything he's done.
We'll see Travis at Daytona
Right.
in the Truck Series.
But Travis, maybe Cletus and Stewart, right? Because Cletus is going to try and qualify for the Cup race or for the truck race.
Truck race, yes.
Is he?
Saw that. Yeah,
Yes.
saw that.
Yep.
Big
I thought I saw
Johnson.
that just
Yeah, I
this
saw it.
morning.
Our Cletus guy doesn't even know what the hell's going
Come on.
Yeah, listen, I don't know if this is news. Why has nobody shared it with me?
He is, according to the internets. Put yourself on camera, Cody.
How we doing?
According to the internets, he is going to try and qualify for the truck race.
Well, that's about damn time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, about damn time. Oh, GB would be proud.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, which by
would be
the
proud.
way, what did you hear today about?
Oh, I got the video. Would you like to play it?
Yes.
How about it?
Or set it up, tee it up first.
Ooh, teed up.
All right. Well,
There are people out there that don't know who Cletus is, by the way.
Cletus McFarland is good friends with, or was good friends with, Greg Biffle and his family, and he has a very good merch business, so he fulfills a lot of orders and whatnot. Greg Biffle's family has given Cletus the remaining
Do you
merchandise
have a
that they
Chiron?
had.
Do you have a Chiron?
I do.
Put your Chiron
How
on.
about that one?
There you go. All right.
Anyway, Greg Biffle's family was gave Cletus his merchandise. Cletus sent down a box truck to go pick it up from Charlotte, and it's going to be fulfilled by Cletus because there is nobody at Greg's house to fulfill those orders anymore. As sad as that is,
Wow.
you got to get those orders out if they were paid for. The family was receiving emails and negativity they don't need at this time, so
Sure.
here we are.
He's going to take it over.
He'll be
with
taking
his
it over.
empire, which will make the Biffle merchandise even bigger.
Yes,
That's awesome.
pretty much.
All right. Now, what's the video that you have?
Pretty much saying exactly what I just said.
Nice.
Listen, I wasn't prepared for that.
It's okay. Well, okay. Let's hear it twice. Right. Whenever you're ready, here's Cletus saying the same damn thing that Cody just said.
Real quick and talk about Greg and Christina Biffle's website. So when they passed away, it seemed as though their website sold out of all of their merch. And I think a lot of people didn't understand this, but Greg and Christina fulfilled all their t-shirt orders right out of their house. They did it personally, which is really cool. Well, it's cool that you guys did sell out their merch, but obviously the orders haven't moved. So their family has given us access to the website, and we are sending a box truck to Charlotte right now to get the merch that was at Greg's house that his family is supplying us with. You can't buy anything anymore off of their website, but those of you who did place orders, we're just going to fulfill them, and I don't know what's going to happen next. So that's totally up to the family with what they want to do there. Greg's family has also supplied us with some footage that was meant to be on their YouTube channel, some really cool videos, and we are going to work on putting those together and publishing them on Greg's pages as well. So just wanted to update you guys. I guess they're getting quite a few emails through their customer service of people wondering where their shirts are, and there was just nobody to fulfill them, so we're gonna go ahead and just take care of it. So that'll all be happening soon. Just please be as patient as possible, and we'll get you your orders. Thanks.
Wow.
Crasher, was
What a
it
dude.
the news last week regarding who was and was not piloting that plane?
That was last week.
Was it?
Yes, and the name is escaping me.
It's Dennis and Jack Dutton.
Dennis and Dutton.
Got it.
There it is. Yes.
Because there was
Dennis and
speculation
son
that
Jack.
Greg Biffle was possibly piloting.
That was
Yes.
right away because it's Greg's plane.
In the reports, it basically said that he was in the back seat
Copy.
giving commands from behind.
Copy.
Quick question, if anybody has the answer for it. I was told that they might have been the same pilots that had their crash with Dale Jr.'s plane. Is that confirmed or no? Does anyone know the
dang,
answer
that
to that?
I do not know.
Did not hear
You could
that
always
at all.
fact check that, but
Yep.
I don't
I
believe that's
heard
true.
prior to that. Okay. Well, disregard then. Side note.
Well, Jack is the son of Senior Dutton,
Correct.
right? Yeah, and Jack was fulfilling flight hours.
I'm not exactly sure on the hours, but
Yeah.
I know Jack did not have the required,
Exactly.
and Dennis needed a second seater to fly that plane. So there was
And
an
this-
issue
yeah.
to start.
Yeah, which I hope that doesn't go anywhere else.
Freak Nation, the Clash is coming up in moments on Fox. Richard C. Suave, your pick to win that race at 35 degrees game time, where it feels like 29, with possible moisture lingering outside the stadium. Who you got there, Richard?
Okay, well, they were just talking to Kyle Larson on the Fox broadcast, and they showed his previous finishes in the Clash. Not great. Last year, Cody, correct me if I'm wrong, because they were talking about it on the show earlier, Kyle Larson had to race in through the last chance qualifier last year, and so he had a rough finish in the actual full-time event, right? He's going to sit on the pole, and I have go ahead and get the Kyle Larson ready just so we can hear from him, because we are doing our due diligence as your unofficial pre-race show, everybody. So we know you want to hear from
right.
you want to hear from Kyle Larson. So go ahead and let's hear from Kyle Larson earlier after he won the pole for tonight's Clash main event.
Kyle Larson, what a difference a year makes in terms of the Clash. Last year in the Clash, had to race through the LCQ to make the main event. This year, you're going to lead the field to the green.
Yeah, it'd be fun to be a fan and actually get to watch it, because that's a really stressful race, at least it was for me last year. So, yeah, caught a bit off guard there. I was not expecting to get the pole, and two, we have lap times on our dash. I never saw anything close to a 13 on my dash. The quickest I saw was like a 23, I think. So I was like, well, at least I'm in the show, but it's not very good. And then, so I was like trying to push, and then Cliff came on and said we were, quick time for the moment. So I was like, wow, I wish I would have had the proper lap time on my dash, because I maybe could have went a little bit better if I just settled down. So, but yeah, thanks to everybody on our HendrickCars.com Chevy. Good to be back in a stock car here, and you'll see if we can take care of it here in the race. Glad to qualify well, but it's still, a lot can go on, and the increased horsepower I think is going to make things a bit more challenging for saving tires. So we'll see, but I felt like we made our car better throughout practice, so hopefully we can have a decent shot here.
So he's saying he might have some extra pep in his step.
Kyle Larson is the favorite according to the internet betting here, plus 330. You asked for my pick. I am going to go outside the box a little bit here, and I want the storyline. I want the storyline. I want us to be talking about something that's like, oh, dang, that's really cool. We talked about him earlier in the show. He qualified 6th tonight despite his messed up shoulder. Denny Hamlin is the 4th betting favorite tonight at plus 800. So 200 laps is a long race. It's going to be shenanigans galore. The grip is going to be low because it's going to be cold.
Oh,
Give me Denny Hamlin to bump and run somebody and get the W.
That would be a great story.
Cole Cusimano, who you got?
Well, me and Cody Big Johnson were talking last night about our predictions. I had 3 drivers in mind: Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Christopher Bell. I'm going to go with C. Bell. Christopher Bell always starts the season off really strong. He's great on the short tracks. And talk about somebody that knows how to manage their race car and their tires. He is up there with the best of them. So I think this is a race and a track that caters to his skill set. And, let's go with C. Bell.
So C-Bell, Denny Hamlin, Cody Big Johnson, who you got for tonight?
Is this even a question?
From the poll, ladies
He's
and
taking
gentlemen.
Tyler Reddick, everybody. Tyler Reddick is Cody's pick.
I wouldn't pick Tyler Reddick ever. I'm just not going to do that to myself. But no, we'll take the 5. Kyle Larson
All right.
on the poll.
Really stepping out on a limb there, Cody. Appreciate that.
His favorite
Nobody
driver.
told me I had to step outside the box.
Yeah,
Just because Richie does, just because Cole does. I'm going to go with the smart move and take my money where my mouth is.
Got it.
I'm going to go ahead and put Larson in there.
Crasher?
I'm going to go dumb. I'm going to go dumb but fun. I'm going to go Josh Berry because I want to see some serious bumping and banging from the back to the front. Yeah, give me all of that. I just want to see a catastrophe out there in the Clash, and I want Berry to take it from the back.
Right. Wow.
Oh.
It's called
Really
the Clash,
weird.
so why not? Yeah. Why not?
That was good.
It's gotten real weird in here
It
today.
did. I'm trying to cover it up, man.
We live at
Thank
Freaks.
God we're on the internet, everybody. We're not.
Welcome to the Freak Show.
I'm
I
just
did
trying to.
not mean it to sound like that.
Cole, why are you looking down at your phone right now?
I was looking for lap averages.
'Cause you want to look at Crash in the eyes right now
I
if
was
she
gonna
just said
bring a
that?
stat up for you guys, but I want you to give your
We
pick
haven't
first.
talked to. Look at Joey Logano had to cover his bald head. Look at that.
Because it's freezing, he has no insulation
That
anymore.
is a storyline we haven't had a chance to talk about since
Bald
we come
Joey.
back. Joey Logano is bald, and he's pulling it off.
He is.
And we
Who else is
thought-
bald? Didn't
Well,
somebody else kind of go?
We thought Chase Briscoe was bald, but it was
Yeah.
AI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was like a big
They tricked
reveal
us
at
all.
Media Day. Ryan Priest was like, "What? You're not bald?" Yeah. So just Joey,
Okay,
just my paisan.
Okay. Just my paisan.
Richie, who won when you went to the very first Clash in California? Who won that race?
So you're talking about 2022. I thought Denny Hamlin won it. Joey Logano? No, it was Logano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was the 22 and 22. Yeah, and he won the championship that year.
Do you remember who won that next Clash? The rain, hellstorm.
2020, that was in 2024. That was last year.
Year before last.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was 25.
Was that Martin Truex?
I don't think.
I don't remember. I was
I
there,
actually
damn it,
can't
and I do not
either.
remember.
I don't think it was though.
There is a memory that I have of Martin Truex. It's probably the very first one in California. I don't remember why it came to me, but I'm going Chase Briscoe with this win. I don't think that's
the
too
non-bald
Good
one.
call.
The non-bald
Good
one.
call.
I'm going with Chase. That is C-Bell right there. Wow, it's weird looking.
It's my guy.
I'm going to go Chase Briscoe just because I got a funny feeling. Where did he qualify? Fourth or fifth?
Briscoe will be starting from 4th tonight.
There you go.
All right.
So we got 4th and 5th.
To
right
confirm, the 2024 winner was Denny Hamlin.
Okay.
there. 2023.
Okay, who is
What
23?
about 23?
And
Didn't
then
go that
Truex
far.
is 23.
Didn't go that far. It was
Truex is
2X.
23. There you go.
Hey, look at
Ah,
that.
Was
Denny.
23? Yeah, was 23 when Ice Cube performed? Or was that
Yeah, that should have been.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm throwing it back to 2023 with Martin Truex's old hot rod and going Chase Briscoe, which is not a long shot by any
No.
stretch. All right.
Here's a good call, real quick. Just real quick. Just to give some love to Lucas Oil.
Well,
Kyle
I'm tired of
Busch.
you giving love to Mountain Dew, you happy bastard.
Hey, it's not in the shot.
Yes, it is. It's been in the
No, it's
shot.
not.
Yeah, it was sitting right here, and he just held it up. It's like Do they pay you guys a lot of money to meet you to show Mountain Dew in
By
the
the way,
shot?
badass Mountain Dew clock in Cletus's interview.
I saw that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what reminded me to bring it up. I saw that.
I digress.
Yeah.
I was going to say, looking at lap times, they didn't have them up here, but during the broadcast for practice, they were saying that Kyle Busch had one of the best 10-lap averages. So
Dude, let's
starting
go.
13th, maybe our Lucas Oil lad can get it done.
Taylor Swift 13. Okay, let's
It would
go.
not suck, would it?
Nope, it
No,
would
not at
not
all.
suck.
Would not suck.
Except we're doing a gig for Lucas Oil tonight, and we're not going to be able to watch the Clash. So,
It's all right.
if we got
We got 3 other heads that can cover it for us.
Yeah, yes.
That means if he wins, you can't watch any more races because you guys might be a jinx. So
that means you guys have to go cover him socially then.
Hey-o. We wouldn't hate that. All right, Freak Nation. Who are your picks? Top 5, top 3. Who wins the damn race, Freak Nation? Right now, we don't give a damn because we're not giving away a set of General Tires. But we'll start back up for Daytona, Freak Nation, and we'll figure out how we're going to do it this time. I know that Cody and Richie and I had a conversation about changing it up a little bit from our good friends there at X. Are we still down with that? Still want to try that? Or we send people to our TikTok?
We'll see.
Do the kids call it page? TikTok page or TikTok? Send it to our TikTok.
Maybe we do a crossover for the first couple of races until people get used to the talk.
Yeah.
the talk.
Damn $1,500 worth of tires. We're just picking a G-damn race winner. Happy bastards. All right, man. Thank you guys for being a part of this big old thing. Be sure you follow us on every social media app out there on the planet. And now our podcasts are wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, and again, anywhere you download podcasts, you can now catch Speed Freaks. Later.